Don't miss the awesome Naruto stories my sister creates. Her last channel was hacked, so to stay in the loop, please subscribe to her new channel. It would mean a lot to her, and you won't regret it. Dear Naruto Lemon fans, I'm inviting all of you to my Boosty channel. You know that YouTube doesn't exactly approve of this kind of content, so please subscribe to my paid subscription and enjoy Naruto Lemon scenes comfortably. There are different subscription tiers from Mini Lemon to God Lemon. Those who buy the over Naruto Lemon and God Naruto Lemon, I'll mentions in the videos. Dare. Chapter 1, A Strange New Power. The sun was setting over the hidden leaf village, casting long shadows over the training grounds where Naruto Uzumaki was practicing. The fiery orange and pink hues painted the sky, mirroring the determined glow in Naruto's eyes. Today was no ordinary day. Naruto was feeling unusually enthusiastic. It wasn't just because he'd finally mastered a new jutsu, but because he had a hunch that something extraordinary was about to happen. As he finished another round of Shadow Clones training, Naruto wiped the sweat from his brow and looked around. His usual training grounds had recently been overtaken by a strange, foggy mist, which Naruto hadn't noticed until now. He frowned and scratched his head, wondering if this was some new prank by the village kids. Seriously, what's with the mist? He muttered to himself, deciding to investigate. He walked cautiously through the dense fog, his senses heightened. It was then that he stumbled upon something odd, a gaping, dark hole in the ground, almost like a portal. Naruto peered into the hole, curiosity outweighing his caution. Looks like a dungeon or something, he said, half to himself and half to the mysterious abyss. Without thinking much further, Naruto took a deep breath and leaped into the hole, determined to uncover the mystery. The fall wasn't as far as he'd expected, and Naruto landed with a soft thud on a bed of mossy ground. He looked around and saw that he was in a vast, dimly lit cavern. The air was thick with the scent of ancient stone and something else he couldn't quite place. Flickering torches lined the walls, casting eerie shadows that danced across the cavern's surface. As Naruto walked deeper into the cavern, he noticed strange inscriptions on the walls. Great, just what I needed, he grumbled. Ancient runes and no map. Despite his complaints, his excitement was palpable. He loved mysteries, especially those that promised adventure. He soon came across a massive stone door covered in even more runes. Curiosity got the better of him, and he pushed the door open with a grunt. It creaked ominously, and Naruto entered a grand chamber, where the air was charged with an almost tangible energy. In the center of the chamber was a pedestal with a glowing, pulsating crystal. Naruto's eyes widened. Now that's what I'm talking about, he exclaimed, approaching the pedestal with a mix of awe and trepidation. As he reached out to touch the crystal, a sudden flash of light enveloped him. Naruto was thrown back, his body convulsing slightly as he felt a strange sensation spreading through him. When the light subsided, he was lying on the ground, dazed but intact. The cavern seemed to have changed, the runes and inscriptions were now glowing brightly, and the air was crackling with energy. Naruto shakily got to his feet and examined his hands. They looked the same, but something felt different, a new sense of power coursing through him. His eyes were drawn to a notification that had appeared in front of him, glowing in neon blue letters. Welcome, player. System initialization complete. Naruto blinked, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. Player? System? What is this, a video game? He wondered aloud. A tutorial screen popped up, detailing the basics of the system he had just acquired. System? Naruto said, squinting at the screen. What the heck is this? Some kind of high-tech magic? He navigated through the tutorial, which explained that he now had access to various abilities and powers from a system similar to Sung Jin-Woo from Solo Leveling. Wow, Naruto said, his mouth hanging open. This is insane. I'm like, superpowered now. Excited by the possibilities, Naruto decided to test out his new abilities. He concentrated, and a new skill called Status Window appeared in front of him. He could see detailed stats about himself, strength, agility, magic power, and more. It was like nothing he'd ever seen before. I wonder if this means I can get stronger by fighting monsters or something, Naruto mused, grinning widely. He decided to try out his newfound powers right away. The cavern seemed like a perfect place to start. He activated his first skill, Shadow Strike, and a shadowy clone of himself appeared, mimicking his movements. Cool. This is like my shadow clones but way cooler, Naruto said, thrilled with the results. He tested out other skills, each time becoming more impressed and eager to explore the full extent of his new powers. However, his experimentation was cut short when he heard a sudden rustling behind him. He spun around, his newly acquired powers at the ready. To his surprise, a group of small, mischievous creatures with glowing eyes emerged from the shadows, chittering and seemingly curious about the intruder in their domain. Naruto stared at them and couldn't help but laugh. You've got to be kidding me, he said, watching the creatures' antics. They seemed more curious than threatening, and their antics were oddly amusing. Naruto decided to try out another skill, Summon Companion. To his surprise, a small, fantastical creature appeared beside him. It looked like a cross between a fox and a dragon, with tiny wings and a cheeky grin. The creature flapped its wings and let out a cheerful chirp. Well, aren't you adorable? Naruto said, laughing. He quickly became attached to the little creature, naming it Kitsu. As Naruto and Kitsu explored the cavern together, he encountered more strange phenomena and comical situations, from traps that were hilariously ineffective to treasure chests that contained nothing but amusing items. By the time Naruto decided to leave the dungeon, he had a newfound appreciation for his bizarre yet fascinating situation. This is going to be one wild ride, he said to Kitsu, who chirped in agreement. As he climbed back out of the dungeon, he felt a sense of excitement and anticipation for the adventures that lay ahead. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of his journey as the successor to Sung Jin-Woo. The world was about to see a whole new side of Naruto Uzumaki, and it promised to be both thrilling and hilariously entertaining. Chapter 2, Overpowered and Underestimated. Naruto awoke the next morning with an undeniable sense of exhilaration. The system was still there, its notifications and skill windows seamlessly integrated into his reality. He hopped out of bed, eager to test his newfound powers in a more practical setting. After all, what good was a mysterious system if you couldn't show it off? As Naruto prepared for his day, he couldn't help but imagine the look on his friends' faces when they saw his new abilities. I've got to show them, he muttered, grinning at his reflection in the mirror. He envisioned himself performing feats of incredible strength and agility, perhaps even impressing Sasuke and Sakura with his new tricks. First stop, the training grounds where his friends usually gathered. Naruto sprinted there, his excitement giving him an extra burst of speed. As he approached, he saw Sasuke practicing with his shuriken and Sakura practicing her chakra control. Perfect. Hey, guys. Naruto called out, waving energetically. Sasuke looked up with his usual aloof expression, while Sakura's face brightened at the sight of Naruto. Morning, Naruto, Sakura greeted. You're early today. Did you get a good night's sleep? Better than good. Naruto exclaimed, barely able to contain his excitement. You won't believe what I've got to show you. Let me guess, Sasuke said with a smirk. Another new jutsu that you'll claim is the best thing ever? Ha! Not just any jutsu, Naruto said, I've got a whole new power now. Check this out. Without waiting for their response, Naruto activated his newly acquired skill, Shadow Strike. Instantly, a shadowy clone of Naruto materialized beside him. The clone mimicked Naruto's movements perfectly, though it looked slightly more ethereal and translucent. Sakura's eyes widened in surprise. Whoa, that's impressive. Sasuke, however, raised an eyebrow and crossed his arms. Looks like another one of your tricks. Let's see if it's actually useful. Naruto's grin faltered slightly but quickly returned. Oh, it's way more than a trick. Watch this. Naruto focused on another skill, Abyssal Grip, which caused the ground around them to tremble. A ripple of dark energy emanated from him, creating a temporary shockwave that sent small rocks and debris flying. Naruto laughed, pleased with the dramatic effect. Sasuke and Sakura were momentarily taken aback, their expressions a mix of awe and skepticism. Alright, Naruto, Sasuke said, trying to hide his interest. Impressive, but it's probably just some fancy new move. Fancy or not, it's amazing, Naruto insisted. Let's test it out more. I want to see how it works in a real situation. The trio moved to a more open area of the training grounds. Naruto, eager to demonstrate, activated a skill called Unstoppable Charge, which caused him to barrel forward at incredible speed. He zoomed around, creating a blur that left his friends struggling to keep up with their eyes. Sakura, now genuinely intrigued, tried to keep up but found it challenging. This is incredible, Naruto. But how does it work exactly? It's all part of the system, Naruto explained, panting slightly from his high-speed maneuvers. It's like having all these new tools and abilities at my disposal. Sasuke, still not fully convinced, decided to test Naruto's new skills. Alright, let's have a sparring match. I want to see how these new abilities stack up against my skills. Naruto's eyes lit up. You're on, he exclaimed, excited at the opportunity to showcase his powers in a more controlled environment. The sparring match began, and Naruto unleashed his Shadow Strike repeatedly, his clone attacking Sasuke from various angles. Sasuke countered with his Shuriken and Taijutsu skills, dodging and deflecting Naruto's attacks with precision. Despite Naruto's impressive array of skills, Sasuke's experience and reflexes allowed him to hold his own. The match was intense, with Naruto using his abilities in increasingly creative ways. He activated Abyssal Grip to create barriers and manipulate the terrain, while Sasuke's Sharingan helped him anticipate and counter Naruto's moves. Sakura watched in amazement, her earlier skepticism giving way to admiration. Naruto's really leveled up. But Sasuke's still keeping up. Finally, the match ended with a tie. Both Naruto and Sasuke were panting and slightly worn out, but Naruto's grin was wide. See? I told you. This stuff is amazing. Sasuke, though slightly impressed, remained guarded. It's definitely powerful. But remember, power isn't everything. You need to be smart about how you use it. Naruto nodded enthusiastically. Got it. I'm going to keep training and figuring out how to use all these new skills. Later that day, Naruto's excitement about his new abilities led him to test them out on a mission. He was assigned to investigate a series of disturbances reported near the village's perimeter. The local wildlife had been acting strangely, and Naruto's task was to check things out. As he approached the area, he noticed the disturbances were more than just a few angry animals. A pack of rogue ninjas was causing havoc, attacking villagers and disrupting the peace. Naruto, eager to prove the usefulness of his new powers, decided to take them on single-handedly. He activated Unstoppable Charge and dashed into the fray, catching the rogue ninjas off guard. His speed and strength made short work of their initial resistance. Naruto used Shadow Strike to create multiple clones, overwhelming the rogues with sheer numbers and force. Despite his success, the scene was chaotic. Naruto's over-the-top abilities and flamboyant moves drew attention, causing more confusion than necessary. The rogue ninjas were bewildered, unable to effectively counter Naruto's onslaught. As Naruto finished clearing the area, he was greeted by a mix of relief and disbelief from the villagers. They were grateful for his help but couldn't quite wrap their heads around his flashy new powers. "Thank you, Naruto," one villager said, still stunned. "But where did you get those abilities?" Naruto shrugged, trying to play it cool. "Just a little something I picked up. No big deal." As he made his way back to the village, Naruto's thoughts were filled with excitement and anticipation. His new powers were undeniably impressive. But he couldn't help but feel a bit of frustration at the lack of understanding from those around him. He arrived back at the village, where he was met with a familiar face, Kakashi Hatake, his former mentor. Kakashi raised an eyebrow as he saw Naruto approaching. "Naruto, you've been busy. What's with all the commotion?" Naruto, eager to impress Kakashi, launched into an enthusiastic explanation of his new powers and the system. Kakashi listened with a mix of curiosity and amusement, nodding thoughtfully. "Well, Naruto," Kakashi said, "it sounds like you've got some powerful new tools at your disposal. But remember, even with all this power, it's important to stay grounded and focused." Naruto nodded, a bit deflated but still optimistic. "I get it, Kakashi. I'll keep that in mind." As Kakashi walked away, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that he had more to prove. His powers were extraordinary, but gaining the respect and understanding of his friends and mentors would take more than just flashy displays of strength. That night, as Naruto lay in bed, he reflected on the day's events. He was grateful for the incredible abilities he had gained, but he knew that mastering them and earning the respect of those around him would be an ongoing challenge. With a determined smile, Naruto drifted off to sleep, eager to face whatever challenges the next day would bring. He was ready to show the world just what a ninja with the system could do, and he was determined to make sure that everyone saw him for more than just his flashy new tricks. Chapter 3, Training Day. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village, its golden rays filtering through the trees and casting a warm glow on the training grounds. Naruto Uzumaki, now equipped with his new system powers, was itching to start his first day of training with his new abilities. He had spent the night eagerly reading through his system's tutorial screens and figuring out how to maximize his new skills. He arrived at his usual training spot, a large, open area surrounded by trees and a small creek. Naruto stretched and took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the system course through him. "Alright, time to get serious," he declared, pumping himself up for what he hoped would be an epic training session. The first thing he did was activate his status window to check his current stats. Let's see what we've got here," Naruto muttered as he scrolled through the various attributes. He noticed his strength, agility, and magic power were significantly higher than before. This new system seemed to have given him an edge he hadn't expected. Naruto decided to start with a basic training exercise, fighting monsters. His system allowed him to summon monsters for training purposes, a feature he found both fascinating and amusing. "Let's see what kind of monsters we're dealing with," he said, selecting the option from his menu. In a flash of light, a creature appeared before him. It was a small, scaly beast with comically oversized eyes and a tiny, almost imperceptible frown. The creature looked up at Naruto with what could only be described as a mix of confusion and boredom. Naruto burst into laughter at the sight. "What is this? A pet rock with legs?" he chuckled. Despite the creature's unimpressive appearance, he decided to give it a go. "Alright, little guy, let's see what you've got." He activated Shadow Strike and watched as his shadow clone appeared, ready to engage. The clone struck at the monster with exaggerated, theatrical movements. The creature barely flinched and retaliated with an unimpressive swipe of its tiny claws. Naruto couldn't stop laughing. "This is gonna be a piece of cake," he said, barely containing his amusement. He continued to spar with the creature, using a variety of system skills that ranged from unstoppable charge to abyssal grip. Each skill seemed to amplify the absurdity of the situation, turning the training session into a comedic spectacle. After a few more rounds, Naruto decided it was time for a new challenge. He scrolled through his system and selected a more formidable opponent. This time, a towering, muscular beast with a fearsome roar materialized. The creature's entrance was so dramatic that Naruto had to step back to avoid being hit by the shockwave. "Whoa, now that's more like it!" Naruto exclaimed, his excitement evident. He cracked his knuckles and prepared for battle. The monster charged at him, swinging its massive fists with impressive force. Naruto dodged effortlessly, using his agility to weave in and out of the beast's reach. He activated abyssal grip and tried to manipulate the ground to trip the monster. To his surprise, the monster leaped over the ground shift with ease. "Okay, not bad," Naruto admitted. He switched tactics, using Shadow Strike to create multiple clones that surrounded the beast. The clones attacked from all sides, but the monster roared and managed to swat them away with its sheer strength. Naruto was having the time of his life, laughing as he struggled to land a decisive blow. The battle was a mixture of impressive moves and comical mishaps, and Naruto loved every moment of it. After an exhausting but exhilarating fight, Naruto finally managed to subdue the beast. He stood over the defeated creature, panting heavily but grinning from ear to ear. "That was awesome. Maybe not as easy as I thought, but definitely fun." Just then, Naruto heard rustling in the bushes. He turned to see Sakura and Sasuke approaching, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. "Hey, Naruto!" Sakura called out, her eyes scanning the scene. "What's all the noise?" "We heard it from the village." Sasuke looked around, his gaze falling on the defeated monster. "You've been busy." Naruto waved them over enthusiastically. "You guys have to check this out. I've got all these amazing new skills and..." Sakura's eyes widened as she saw the system's interface hovering around Naruto. "Is that..." "Yeah, it's my new system," Naruto said, beaming. "I've been training and testing out all these new powers." Sasuke raised an eyebrow. "You're not joking?" "Nope," Naruto said, shaking his head vigorously. "This is the real deal. I'm telling you, it's incredible." Sakura approached cautiously, her curiosity getting the better of her. "Alright, show us what you can do." Naruto eagerly demonstrated his skills, from Shadow Strike to Unstoppable Charge. Each demonstration was met with varying degrees of amazement and skepticism from his friends. Sasuke watched with a critical eye. "You've definitely got some new tricks up your sleeve. But are they practical?" Naruto frowned slightly. "What do you mean, practical?" "Well, you've got all these flashy moves," Sasuke said, "but can you use them effectively in a real fight?" Naruto's face lit up with determination. "Of course. I can totally handle it. Just wait till we get into an actual mission." Sakura nodded in agreement. "We've seen how powerful you are, but it would be good to see how you handle a real-world situation." Naruto's enthusiasm was undiminished. "No problem. I'm ready for anything." The trio spent the rest of the day training together, with Naruto incorporating his new skills into their exercises. They practiced techniques and strategies, blending Naruto's new powers with their traditional ninja skills. As the sun began to set, they gathered around a campfire, exhausted but satisfied with their progress. Naruto looked at his friends, his excitement unabated. "This is going to be amazing. Just wait until you see what we can do together." Sasuke and Sakura exchanged glances, both impressed and slightly bewildered by Naruto's enthusiasm. They knew that Naruto's new abilities would bring unexpected changes to their missions and their lives. Well, let's see what tomorrow brings, Sasuke said, his voice carrying a hint of anticipation. Sakura smiled and nodded. Agreed. We'll face whatever comes our way together. As the night fell and the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Naruto lay back and stared up at the heavens, his mind racing with possibilities. With his new powers and the support of his friends, he was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The adventure was only beginning, and Naruto was eager to see where it would take him next. Chapter 4, A New Mission. Naruto woke up with the dawn. Invigorated by the prospect of putting his new system to use. He had been eager to test his powers in real-life situations, and today, it seemed, was the perfect opportunity. A mission had been assigned to him by the Hokage, and Naruto was determined to prove his new skills were not just flashy tricks but essential tools for his duties as a ninja. As he prepared for the mission, Naruto's mind raced with possibilities. With his enhanced abilities, he imagined himself defeating rogue ninjas with ease, completing tasks with impressive speed, and maybe even impressing his fellow villagers. His enthusiasm was palpable as he donned his headband and gear, ready to tackle whatever challenge lay ahead. He arrived at the Hokage's office, where he found Tsunade waiting with a serious expression. "Naruto," she began, her tone professional, "we've got a situation. Some rogue ninjas have been causing trouble on the outskirts of the village. We need you to handle it." Naruto's eyes lit up with excitement. "Rogue ninjas, huh? Sounds like my kind of mission." Tsunade raised an eyebrow. "Don't get too overconfident. These rogues are more skilled than your average opponent. They've been eluding capture for a while now. Don't worry," Naruto said confidently. "With my new system, I'll handle them with no problem." Tsunade nodded, though her expression remained guarded. "Just be careful, and remember that overconfidence can be dangerous." With the briefing over, Naruto set out on his mission. He made his way to the designated area, a dense forest known for its tricky terrain and hidden dangers. As he entered the woods, he activated his system's stealth mode, making himself nearly invisible to anyone who might be watching. Navigating through the forest with ease, Naruto quickly picked up on the rogue ninja's trail. The ground was littered with signs of recent activity, scuffed dirt, broken branches, and discarded supplies. He followed the trail, his senses heightened by the system's enhancements. After a few minutes of tracking, Naruto arrived at a clearing where he saw the rogue ninjas gathered around a makeshift campfire. They appeared to be in the midst of a discussion, their faces serious. Naruto grinned, ready to spring into action. He decided to use his unstoppable charge to surprise them. With a burst of speed, he charged into the clearing, sending the rogue ninjas scrambling in all directions. The element of surprise was on his side, and he took full advantage of it. The rogue ninjas quickly regrouped and began attacking. Naruto used Shadow Strike to create multiple clones that flanked the rogues from different angles. The ninjas were confused by the sudden onslaught of clones, each one attacking with exaggerated, comedic movements. One rogue ninja, a burly man with a scowl, tried to punch through Naruto's clone army but ended up accidentally hitting his own teammates. Naruto watched in amusement as the rogue ninjas clashed with each other in a chaotic and hilarious display of clumsiness. Despite their confusion, the rogue ninjas were skilled fighters. They managed to land a few hits on Naruto's clones, but his system's regeneration ability quickly healed him. Naruto, still having fun, decided to up the ante. He activated Abyssal Grip, creating a localized earthquake that sent the rogue ninjas stumbling. The rogue leader, a shrewd-looking woman with a sharp gaze, shouted orders to her subordinates. "Focus on the real one. He's the one using all those strange powers." Naruto, amused by the leader's frustration, decided to have some fun. He used Illusionary Mirage to create several illusory duplicates of himself, making it even harder for the rogues to determine which one was the real Naruto. The scene became a comedy of errors as the rogue ninjas attacked the illusions, their attacks harmlessly passing through. Finally, Naruto decided to end the skirmish. He activated Meteor Strike, causing a barrage of energy blasts to rain down on the rogue ninjas. The attack was powerful but controlled, ensuring that the rogues were incapacitated rather than harmed. As the dust settled, Naruto approached the leader, who was now lying on the ground. Her expression one of disbelief. "Looks like you're the last one standing," Naruto said, offering a hand to help her up. "Surrender, and I promise you won't be hurt." The rogue leader, still stunned by Naruto's overwhelming display of power, grudgingly accepted. "Fine," she said, "you win. But this isn't over. We'll be back." Naruto smiled, pleased with the outcome. "I'll be ready for you," he said, watching as the rogue ninjas were taken into custody by the village guards. With the mission accomplished, Naruto headed back to the village, feeling a mix of satisfaction and excitement. He had managed to deal with the rogue ninjas in a way that showcased both his new abilities and his characteristic humor. As he arrived at the Hokage's office to report in, Tsunade looked up from her paperwork. "So, how did it go?" Naruto beamed. "Mission complete. I took care of the rogue ninjas, and they won't be causing any more trouble." Tsunade raised an eyebrow. "And the new skills?" "They worked great," Naruto said. "I even had a few laughs. They were no match for me, thanks to the system." Tsunade nodded, a hint of a smile on her lips. "Good work. But remember, this is just the beginning. You've got to stay sharp and continue improving." Naruto saluted, grinning from ear to ear. "Got it, Hokage. I'm ready for whatever comes next." As he left the office, Naruto couldn't help but feel a renewed sense of purpose. His new powers were not just about showing off but about making a real difference. With his characteristic enthusiasm and a new set of abilities at his disposal, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, all while bringing his unique brand of humor to every situation. Chapter 5, The Guild Master. Naruto's foray into the world of guilds began with an uncharacteristically serious expression. After the chaos of his previous missions, he decided it was high time to formalize his approach to handling rogue ninjas and dungeons. If Sung Jin-Woo's system had taught him anything, it was that organized power could achieve extraordinary results. And so, Naruto set his sights on forming a guild, a ninja guild, to be precise. The idea of a ninja guild intrigued Naruto, not just for its practicality but for its potential to introduce even more hilarity into his already unpredictable life. He envisioned a team of capable ninjas, each with unique skills, working together to tackle dungeons and missions. It sounded perfect. After presenting the idea to his friends, who were initially skeptical, Naruto found himself with a motley crew eager to join his guild. Sakura, Sasuke, and even Sai agreed to be part of the Konoha Legends Guild. Naruto's enthusiasm was infectious, and soon enough, everyone was excited to get started. The first order of business was to find a suitable headquarters. They settled on an abandoned training ground on the outskirts of the village, which Naruto insisted on calling the Guild Hall. The place was in disrepair, filled with broken equipment and overgrown weeds. Naruto saw potential, envisioning it as a bustling center of activity. His friends, on the other hand, saw it as a fixer-upper project. "Alright, team," Naruto announced with a grand gesture as he surveyed the rundown site. "This is where our journey begins. We'll make this place shine." "Shine?" Sakura echoed skeptically. "It looks like a dump." "Exactly." Naruto beamed. "A glorious, potential-filled dump. We'll transform it into the ultimate guild headquarters." The process of transforming the dilapidated space into a functional guild hall was both a test of patience and a source of constant amusement. Naruto, ever the optimist, was determined to do everything himself, from fixing broken windows to clearing out the debris. He tried to channel his system's abilities into the task, but this only led to a series of humorous mishaps. One day, while attempting to install a new door, Naruto used enhanced strength to force it into place. Unfortunately, he underestimated his own strength, resulting in the door being slammed into the wall with such force that it created a comical dent. "Oops," Naruto muttered sheepishly as his friends stared at the damage, trying to suppress their laughter. Sakura took charge of the more practical aspects of renovation, organizing the team and managing the logistics. Sasuke, though more reserved, contributed by fixing up the structural issues, his precise and efficient work contrasting sharply with Naruto's enthusiastic but often chaotic approach. Sai, meanwhile, took it upon himself to beautify the guild hall with his artwork. His efforts resulted in some rather interesting murals that featured overly dramatic depictions of their guild activities. Naruto proudly displayed these murals, despite their peculiar appearance, much to the mixed reactions of his team. After several weeks of hard work, the guild hall was finally ready. It wasn't exactly what Naruto had envisioned, but it was functional and filled with character. The guild's first official meeting was set to take place, and Naruto was determined to make a grand impression. The guild members gathered around a large, round table, which Naruto had insisted on as a symbol of unity. He stood at the head of the table, striking a pose that he hoped looked authoritative. "Welcome, everyone, to the Konoha Legends Guild," Naruto declared, his voice filled with pride. "Our mission is to tackle dungeons, complete missions, and become the greatest ninja guild ever." Sakura rolled her eyes but couldn't help smiling. "And how exactly do you plan to start?" "Glad you asked," Naruto responded with a flourish. "We're going to embark on our first guild mission. We need to establish our presence and show the world what we're made of." Sai raised an eyebrow. "And what exactly is this mission?" Naruto grinned. "We're going to raid a dungeon." The guild members exchanged puzzled looks. "A dungeon?" Sasuke repeated. "Yep." Naruto nodded enthusiastically. "It'll be a great way to test our skills and prove ourselves." The team set out to the nearest dungeon, which was a low-level one known for its relatively easy challenges. Despite the dungeon's simplicity, Naruto was determined to make it memorable. He rallied his guild members, outlining a plan that was as ambitious as it was comically convoluted. As they entered the dungeon, Naruto's leadership style quickly became apparent. His plan involved a series of overly complicated tactics and theatrical maneuvers, including a dramatic entrance that had the team bursting into the dungeon with exaggerated flair. "Alright, team, let's show them what we're made of," Naruto shouted, his voice echoing through the dungeon. The team moved through the dungeon, encountering various traps and monsters. Naruto's attempts to lead with grandeur often resulted in humorous outcomes. At one point, he activated Meteor Strike in a narrow corridor, accidentally causing a cave-in that blocked their path. "Oops," he said, scratching his head as the team groaned. Despite the setbacks, Naruto's sheer enthusiasm and his team's collective effort saw them through. They fought their way through the dungeon's challenges, with Naruto's over-the-top tactics and his friends' more practical approaches complementing each other in an amusing blend. By the time they reached the dungeon's core, they were exhausted but exhilarated. Naruto, beaming with pride, declared their mission a success. The guild had faced its first test and come out victorious, albeit with a few bumps and bruises along the way. As they exited the dungeon, Naruto couldn't help but reflect on their adventure. "Well, that was quite a ride," he said, grinning from ear to ear. "We've got a lot of work to do, but I know we're going to be amazing." Sakura chuckled, shaking her head. "I have to admit, it was pretty fun." "Yeah," Sasuke agreed, a rare smile on his face. "Not bad for a first mission." Sai nodded, adding, "And the murals will make a great addition to our guild hall." Naruto's eyes sparkled with excitement as he looked at his friends. Here's to many more adventures and lots of laughs. With the guild's first mission behind them and their spirits high, the Konoha Legends Guild began its journey in earnest. Naruto's grand plans and their comedic execution became the hallmark of their adventures, ensuring that their time together was filled with both heroism and humor. Chapter 6: Unexpected Allies. Naruto had always been one to dive headfirst into new challenges, and his recent foray into the world of guilds was no exception. After establishing the Konoha Legends Guild, he was eager to embark on their first dungeon raid. But as fate would have it, the universe had a way of mixing things up, and Naruto's quest for adventure led him to an encounter with some very unusual allies. It all began on a sunny afternoon. Naruto was busy fine-tuning the guild hall's training grounds, trying to install a new obstacle course with the help of his friends. Amidst the chaos of ropes, weights, and overly complicated mechanisms, a sudden, swirling portal materialized out of nowhere. Naruto, is that supposed to happen? Sakura asked, squinting at the portal as it pulsed with eerie light. Definitely not. Naruto replied, looking both excited and slightly concerned. But it looks like another adventure is about to begin. The portal expanded, and through it stepped several figures who seemed entirely out of place in the ninja world. One was a tall, brooding man with a scar across his face and an air of seriousness about him. Next to him was a petite girl with bright green hair and a cheerful demeanor. Following them were a couple of creatures that looked like they'd wandered out of a fantasy novel, a talking cat and a fluffy, dragon-like being. "Greetings," the man announced as he stepped through the portal, his voice booming with authority. "I am Gildarts Clive, master of the Sabertooth Guild from the world of Fiori. We've been sent here to investigate this anomaly." Naruto's eyes widened in awe. Whoa, a guild master from another world. That's awesome. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the leader of the Konoha Legends Guild. Looks like we're both into guilds. Gildarts raised an eyebrow. A ninja guild, you say? How intriguing. The cheerful girl with green hair, whose name was Wendy, gave Naruto a warm smile. Hi, I'm Wendy Marvel. I'm a mage from Fairy Tail. It's nice to meet you. Naruto grinned widely. Nice to meet you too, Wendy. So, what brings you guys here? Gildarts explained that their world had detected a disturbance in the space-time continuum, which led them to Naruto's world. They were investigating potential threats or anomalies, and their portal had accidentally opened into the middle of Naruto's training ground. Well, you're in luck, Naruto said enthusiastically. We were just about to tackle a dungeon. Maybe you can join us? Gildarts and his team exchanged glances. We're not familiar with your dungeons, but it sounds like an adventure, Gildarts said, nodding. With a new set of allies in tow, Naruto and his friends set off for the dungeon. The group made for an interesting mix: Naruto's hyperactive energy, Sasuke's stoic demeanor, Sakura's practical approach, and the new arrivals with their own unique traits. As they approached the dungeon entrance, Gildarts and Wendy seemed intrigued by the concept of ninja dungeons. Wendy's curiosity led her to examine the dungeon's layout, while Gildarts observed the surroundings with a serious expression. I've never seen a dungeon like this before, Wendy mused. The magical energy is different from what I'm used to. Gildarts nodded. We'll have to adapt our strategies. Naruto led the group into the dungeon, brimming with excitement. The dungeon's layout was a series of interconnected rooms and corridors, each filled with various monsters. As they ventured deeper, the team encountered their first set of enemies, a pack of goblins. Naruto, eager to show off his new powers, used his system abilities to launch a powerful attack. Take this, he shouted, unleashing a barrage of energy blasts that decimated the goblins in an instant. Gildarts watched in astonishment. Impressive. It seems your system grants you extraordinary abilities. Naruto beamed. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But let's see how you guys handle this. Wendy, stepping forward, conjured a whirlwind of magical energy that swept through the remaining goblins with ease. Our magic can handle things too. Let's see how well we work together. The group continued through the dungeon, facing a series of increasingly challenging monsters. Gildart's and Wendy's abilities complemented Naruto's system powers, creating a dynamic and effective team. The ninja's unconventional techniques mixed with the mage's magic led to some truly entertaining moments. In one room, they encountered a horde of monsters that seemed impervious to conventional attacks. Naruto, determined to find a solution, improvised a plan that involved a series of elaborate traps and illusions. "Watch this," he announced, setting up a sequence of traps that confused the monsters and led them into a comical mess of tangled limbs and confused roars. Gildarts and Wendy were both impressed and amused by Naruto's creativity. "You have quite the flair for dramatic tactics," Gildarts remarked. Naruto grinned. "It's all part of the fun." As they progressed, the group encountered a particularly challenging puzzle that required both magic and ninja skills to solve. The puzzle involved a series of switches and mechanisms that needed to be activated in a specific order. Wendy used her magic to reveal hidden clues, while Naruto's system allowed him to detect subtle hints and patterns. Working together, they solved the puzzle with a mix of ingenuity and humor. Naruto's attempts to interpret the clues led to some hilarious misunderstandings, such as when he mistakenly thought a certain symbol meant dance party, leading to an impromptu dance-off with Gildarts. The climax of their dungeon raid came when they faced off against a formidable boss monster. The creature was massive, with multiple heads and a host of powerful attacks. Naruto, ever the showman, launched into a dramatic monologue as he prepared for battle. "I am Naruto Uzumaki, and I shall defeat you with the power of my system and the might of my friends," he declared. Gildarts, bemused by Naruto's theatrics, readied himself for the fight. "Let's make this a good one." The battle was a chaotic blend of ninja techniques and magical attacks. Naruto's flashy moves combined with Gildart's sheer strength and Wendy's magical prowess created a whirlwind of action. At one point, Naruto used his system's boost ability to launch himself high into the air, performing a series of acrobatic flips before delivering a powerful final blow to the boss. As the boss fell, the dungeon began to crumble. The team made a hasty retreat, laughing and cheering as they emerged victorious. The dungeon's treasures were divided among the group, and Naruto was delighted to see that the loot included several unusual and comical items, such as a magical wishing hat and explosive confetti. With the dungeon cleared and their new allies thoroughly tested, Naruto and his friends returned to the guild hall, where they celebrated their success. The evening was filled with laughter and camaraderie as they exchanged stories and enjoyed a hearty meal. "Not bad for our first raid with new friends," Naruto said, raising his glass in a toast. Gildarts smiled. "Indeed. It was an adventure I won't soon forget." Wendy nodded in agreement. "Here's to more adventures and unexpected allies." As the celebration continued, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. The Konoha Legends Guild was growing stronger, and their new allies had added an exciting new dimension to their adventures. With each new challenge, Naruto's journey continued to be as unpredictable and entertaining as ever. And so, with a successful dungeon raid behind them and new friendships forged, the guild looked forward to their next adventure, knowing that the world of possibilities was vast and filled with even more unexpected and humorous encounters. Chapter 7, Dungeon Delve. Naruto's first foray into the world of guilds had gone spectacularly well. His guild, the Konoha Legends, was buzzing with excitement after their recent encounter with the dimensional visitors. As the sun rose on a new day, Naruto gathered his friends at the guild hall, eager to start their next big adventure, a new dungeon they'd heard about. "Alright, team," Naruto said, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. "We're going to tackle the Abyssal Labyrinth today. I've heard it's full of tricky traps and bizarre monsters." "Sounds like a blast, right?" Sakura rolled her eyes playfully. As long as you don't get us into another mess like last time, I'm in. Sasuke, who had been silently sharpening his weapons, finally spoke up. I'll go, but let's stick to the plan and not do anything reckless. Naruto nodded vigorously. You got it. No recklessness, just pure ninja teamwork and... Before he could finish, a small, magical portal opened in the middle of the guild hall. Out stepped a familiar figure, Wendy Marvel, who had returned with Guildarts for another round of adventures. Hey, Naruto. We heard you were going to dive into another dungeon, Wendy said, her green hair shimmering in the light. We thought we'd join you for this one. Guildarts, following close behind, gave Naruto a nod of approval. I must admit, I'm intrigued by this abyssal labyrinth. It sounds like a good challenge. Naruto beamed. Perfect. More the merrier. Let's get going. The group set off, making their way to the entrance of the abyssal labyrinth. The dungeon's entrance was a dark, foreboding archway, adorned with ancient runes and a chilling aura. Inside, the labyrinth was a maze of twisting corridors, eerie shadows, and the occasional flicker of distant, glowing eyes. The walls were covered in strange symbols that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. It was a dungeon unlike any Naruto had faced before. As they ventured deeper, they encountered their first set of challenges. A series of pressure plates on the floor activated a trap, causing a barrage of arrows to shoot out from hidden alcoves. Watch out! Naruto shouted, using his enhanced reflexes to dodge the arrows with ease. These traps are no joke. Wendy, using her wind magic, created a barrier to protect the team from the arrows. Stay close to me, and I'll shield us from the traps. The group continued through the labyrinth, navigating a series of increasingly complex puzzles and traps. At one point, they found themselves in a large chamber filled with rotating blades and swinging pendulums. This looks like a challenge, Sasuke said, examining the room's layout. We need to move quickly and carefully. Naruto, always one to take the lead, charged forward with his usual enthusiasm. I've got this. He leaped through the rotating blades with agility, narrowly avoiding the swinging pendulums. His teammates followed closely behind, with Wendy using her magic to create gusts of wind that helped them avoid the traps. As they reached the end of the chamber, they encountered their first group of monsters, a horde of goblins wielding crude weapons. The goblins were small but fierce, and they attacked with surprising coordination. Naruto, eager to show off his new system powers, activated a powerful skill. System skill, Shadow Strike. Shadowy figures materialized around Naruto, striking the goblins with precision. The goblins were swiftly defeated, much to the awe of Guildarts and Wendy. Your abilities are impressive, Guildarts commented. We don't have anything like that in our world. Naruto grinned. Thanks. It's all thanks to the system I got. Let's keep moving. The team continued deeper into the dungeon, facing increasingly difficult challenges. They encountered more traps, puzzles, and hostile creatures. The labyrinth was proving to be a true test of their skills and teamwork. One particularly challenging section of the labyrinth involved a massive chasm that had to be crossed. There were no visible bridges or paths, and the only way across seemed to be a series of moving platforms high above the chasm. Naruto, never one to shy away from a challenge, suggested an unconventional approach. How about we use my shadow clone jutsu to create a bridge? Sakura looked skeptical. Are you sure that'll work? Only one way to find out. Naruto replied confidently. He created a series of shadow clones, which formed a chain across the chasm. The team carefully crossed over, with Wendy using her magic to keep the clones steady. Once across, they encountered a room filled with magical barriers and floating platforms. The room's layout was reminiscent of an elaborate puzzle, with platforms that moved and barriers that shifted positions. Looks like we need to figure out the correct sequence to proceed, Guildart said, studying the room's layout. Naruto, ever the problem solver, started experimenting with different approaches. He used his system powers to manipulate the environment, creating platforms and dispelling barriers. The group worked together, with Wendy using her magic to assist Naruto and Sasuke applying his sharp instincts to guide them through the puzzle. After several attempts and a few comical mishaps, they finally managed to unlock the path forward. As they progressed, they reached the heart of the labyrinth, a vast chamber where the air was thick with magical energy. At the center of the room stood a massive stone pedestal, upon which rested an ancient artifact. "This must be the core of the labyrinth," Naruto said, approaching the pedestal with excitement. "Let's see what it is." As Naruto touched the artifact, the room shook, and a powerful surge of energy erupted from the pedestal. A massive, ethereal creature materialized in front of them, a guardian of the labyrinth. The guardian was a towering figure with glowing eyes and an aura of immense power. It roared, causing the chamber to quake. "This is going to be tough," Naruto said, readying himself for battle. "Everyone, get ready." The battle with the guardian was intense. The creature was formidable, with powerful attacks and a nearly impenetrable defense. Naruto used his system powers to launch powerful attacks, while Gildarts and Wendy utilized their own abilities to support the team. Despite the difficulty, the battle was also filled with humorous moments. Naruto's over-the-top moves and dramatic strategies often clashed with the Guardian's serious demeanor, leading to some amusing exchanges. "Try this," Naruto shouted, launching a barrage of energy blasts. "Take that." The Guardian roared in frustration as Naruto's attack struck home. Wendy's wind magic created powerful gusts that helped deflect the Guardian's attacks, while Gildarts used his strength to deliver crushing blows. Finally, after an epic struggle, the Guardian was defeated, and the room's energy subsided. The artifact on the pedestal glowed brightly, and the labyrinth's magical barriers began to fade. "You did it, Naruto." Wendy cheered, her face flushed with excitement. Gildarts nodded in approval. "Well done. That was quite the battle." Naruto grinned, his exhaustion momentarily forgotten. "Thanks, guys. We made a great team." As they collected the artifact and made their way out of the labyrinth, Naruto reflected on the day's events. The dungeon had been challenging, but it had also been an opportunity to forge new friendships and test their skills. Back at the guild hall, the team celebrated their victory with a well-deserved feast. Laughter and camaraderie filled the room as they recounted their adventures and shared stories of their respective worlds. "I've got to say," Naruto said, raising a toast with his friends, "today was one of the best adventures ever. Here's to more epic quests and unexpected allies." The group cheered, their spirits high as they enjoyed their victory. The Abyssal Labyrinth had been a test of their abilities, but it had also been a testament to the strength of their teamwork and the bonds they had formed. As the celebration continued, Naruto couldn't help but feel excited for the adventures that lay ahead. With his friends and new allies by his side, he was ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring. Chapter 8, The Legendary Boss. Naruto and his team, now seasoned adventurers, found themselves standing before the entrance of the Abyssal Labyrinth's final chamber. The dungeon had been a whirlwind of traps, puzzles, and bizarre creatures, but nothing could have prepared them for what lay ahead. According to the rumors, the final boss of this labyrinth was a legendary creature known for its terrifying strength and cunning strategies. "All right, team," Naruto said, his voice filled with excitement and a hint of trepidation. "We've come this far, and now it's time to face the big guy. Remember, stay sharp and don't let your guard down." Sakura adjusted her kunai and nodded. "Got it. Let's do this." Sasuke, ever the stoic one, gave a brief nod of agreement. "Let's stick to the plan and stay focused." Wendy and Gildarts, both accustomed to high-stakes battles, exchanged determined looks. "We're with you," Gildarts said. "Just lead the way." As they stepped into the final chamber, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. The room was enormous, with a high ceiling adorned with glowing crystals that cast an eerie, pulsating light. In the center of the chamber stood the legendary boss, a massive, dragon-like creature with scales as black as night and eyes that glowed like fiery embers. Its enormous wings were folded against its back, and its tail coiled menacingly. Naruto's eyes widened as he took in the sight. "Whoa, that thing is huge!" The legendary boss roared, its voice echoing through the chamber like thunder. The sound reverberated off the walls, shaking the ground beneath them. "Alright, team, here we go!" Naruto shouted, his voice filled with determination. "Let's show this guy what we're made of." The battle began with a flurry of action. Naruto activated his system abilities, summoning shadowy clones to attack the boss from multiple angles. The clones moved with remarkable precision, striking the boss with a series of well-coordinated blows. The legendary boss roared in anger and retaliated with a powerful breath attack. A torrent of fire erupted from its mouth, scorching the ground where Naruto and his clones had been moments before. Naruto and his team scrambled to avoid the flames, their movements swift and coordinated. Wendy took to the air, using her wind magic to create a protective barrier around her teammates. "Stay close to me, and I'll shield us from its attacks." Gildarts, wielding his immense strength, charged forward with a powerful punch that struck the boss's side. The impact sent the boss reeling, but it quickly recovered and lashed out with its tail, sending Gildarts flying. Sakura leaped into action, her kunai flashing as she delivered a series of precise strikes to the boss's underbelly. "We need to find a way to break through its defenses." Sasuke, observing the boss's movements, noticed a pattern in its attacks. It has a brief moment of vulnerability after each attack. That's when we need to strike. The team adjusted their strategy based on Sasuke's observations. Naruto used his shadow clones to distract the boss, drawing its attention away from his teammates. Meanwhile, Sakura, Sasuke, and Gildarts launched a coordinated assault during the boss's vulnerable moments. Despite their efforts, the battle was proving to be an arduous challenge. The boss's attacks were relentless, and its scales were nearly impervious to their attacks. Naruto, frustrated but determined, decided to use his most powerful system skill. System skill, Absolute Destruction. A massive wave of energy surged from Naruto, engulfing the boss in a blinding light. The attack was so intense that it caused the entire chamber to shake, and the boss let out a final, anguished roar before collapsing to the ground. The chamber fell silent, the only sound being the heavy breathing of Naruto and his team. They stood in awe, gazing at the defeated legendary boss. "That was incredible," Wendy said, her voice filled with admiration. "I've never seen anything like that." Gildarts, still catching his breath, nodded in agreement. "You've got some serious skills, Naruto." Sakura wiped the sweat from her forehead and smiled. "We did it. We actually did it." Sasuke, his expression as stoic as ever, allowed a rare smile to flicker on his lips. "Good work, everyone." Naruto beamed with pride. "Thanks, everyone. We made a great team." As they explored the chamber, they discovered a treasure chest nestled in the corner. The chest was ornate, covered in intricate carvings and glowing with a faint, magical light. "This must be the reward for defeating the boss," Naruto said, eagerly opening the chest. Inside, they found a collection of unusual and comical items. There were potions with labels like Gigantic Growth Elixir and Anti-Gravity Tonic, as well as strange artifacts such as a pair of clown shoes of evasion and a mimic's mask. "These items are interesting," Naruto said, examining the contents with a mix of amusement and curiosity. Sakura chuckled. "Looks like the dungeon had a sense of humor." Wendy and Gildarts agreed, each picking up an item and testing it out. The result was a series of humorous mishaps, including Gildarts accidentally bouncing around the chamber with the clown shoes and Wendy floating uncontrollably with the anti-gravity tonic. Despite the laughter and chaos, the team relished their victory and the camaraderie that came with it. The dungeon had been a formidable challenge, but they had emerged victorious, their bond strengthened by the shared experience. As they left the abyssal labyrinth, Naruto looked back at the dungeon's entrance with a sense of accomplishment. "We did great today, everyone. I'm proud of what we've achieved." Sakura smiled. "Me too. And who knows what other adventures await us?" Sasuke nodded, his eyes reflecting a rare hint of enthusiasm. "We'll face them together, as a team." With their spirits high and their hearts full of determination, Naruto and his team set off on their next adventure, ready to tackle whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey had only just begun, and the world was full of new and exciting possibilities. Chapter 9: The Hero's Reward. The abyssal labyrinth's final chamber was now quiet, save for the soft crackling of the flickering torches along the walls. The legendary boss lay defeated, its massive form sprawled across the floor. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, Wendy, and Gildarts stood around the massive treasure chest in the center of the room, each of them catching their breath and recovering from the intense battle. "Alright, let's see what we've got here," Naruto exclaimed, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He approached the chest, his hands trembling slightly as he reached for the lid. As he lifted the lid, a brilliant, multicolored light spilled out, illuminating the chamber with a dazzling array of colors. Inside the chest were several items, each glowing with an otherworldly aura. Naruto's eyes widened as he picked up the first item, a shimmering cloak that seemed to ripple with an ethereal light. Whoa! This is incredible! The cloak was adorned with intricate designs that shifted and changed color as Naruto moved it. When he draped it over his shoulders, it seemed to merge with his body, giving him an aura of invincibility. "Is that a cloak of invisibility?" Sakura asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "It looks like it could be useful." Naruto grinned and gave a theatrical twirl, his new cloak billowing around him. "I think it's more than that. This cloak is definitely going to come in handy for sneaking around or making a dramatic entrance." Next, Naruto pulled out a pair of boots that seemed to be made of a shimmering, translucent material. As he examined them, they began to glow with a soft, pulsating light. "These boots look like they could enhance my speed," Naruto said, putting them on. As soon as he did, he felt a sudden surge of energy, and his movements became incredibly swift. He zipped around the chamber, leaving afterimages in his wake. "Careful, Naruto," Sasuke called out, his voice tinged with amusement. "You might accidentally break something with all that speed." Naruto skidded to a halt, his excitement barely contained. "These boots are amazing. I can't wait to try them out in a real battle." The next item was a small, ornate box with intricate carvings. Naruto opened it to reveal a set of magical rings. Each ring was engraved with symbols that seemed to glow with a faint, pulsating light. "Check these out," Naruto said, handing a ring to each of his teammates. "They look like they might have some special abilities." Sakura examined her ring closely. "It's a healing ring. It can heal minor injuries. This will definitely be useful for our missions." Gildarts put on his ring and felt a surge of power. "This one boosts my strength. I'll be able to deal even more damage now." Wendy's ring had a calming effect. "This ring enhances my magical abilities and increases my mana regeneration. It's perfect for me." Sasuke's ring seemed to enhance his speed and reflexes. "This ring will make my combat techniques even more effective." As the team continued to explore the contents of the chest, they discovered a collection of rare potions and scrolls. Each potion had a unique effect, from restoring health to boosting physical abilities. The scrolls contained various powerful techniques and spells. "This is incredible," Naruto said, his voice filled with awe. We've hit the jackpot. The team spent some time organizing and distributing the loot. They made sure each item went to the member it would benefit the most. Naruto couldn't wait to show off his new gear to his friends and see how it would enhance their adventures. As they prepared to leave the dungeon, Naruto's excitement was palpable. We've got so many new things to try out. This is going to make our future missions even more fun. Sakura smiled, her eyes twinkling with enthusiasm. I can't wait to see what other dungeons have in store for us. Sasuke nodded in agreement. Let's make sure we're ready for whatever comes next. Gildarts clapped Naruto on the back, his expression one of approval. You've really outdone yourself this time. The loot we've gathered will definitely give us an edge. Wendy gave Naruto a thumbs up. Great job, Naruto. I'm looking forward to our next adventure. As they made their way out of the dungeon, they reflected on their journey. The Abyssal Labyrinth had been a challenging and thrilling experience, but it had also strengthened their bonds as a team. They had faced the legendary boss together and emerged victorious, each of them gaining new skills and abilities that would serve them well in the future. The sun was setting as they exited the dungeon, casting a warm, golden glow over the landscape. The sky was painted with hues of orange and pink, and the gentle breeze carried the promise of new adventures. Naruto looked at his friends, his heart swelling with pride. We did it, guys. We've come a long way, and there's still so much more to explore. As they headed back to their guild, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment and excitement for the future. They had faced great challenges and emerged stronger, and their journey was far from over. With their new gear and abilities, they were ready to take on whatever lay ahead, and they knew that together, they could overcome any obstacle. The night sky sparkled with stars as they made their way home, and Naruto couldn't help but think about the endless possibilities that awaited them. The world was full of mysteries and adventures, and with his friends by his side, he was ready to face them all. As they approached the guild hall, Naruto turned to his friends with a wide grin. Alright, let's get some rest and prepare for our next adventure. We've got a lot more to discover. With that, the team entered the guild hall, their hearts full of anticipation and their spirits high. The future was bright, and they were ready to embrace it with all the excitement and enthusiasm they could muster. And so, their journey continued, filled with laughter, camaraderie, and countless adventures. The legendary boss was defeated, but their greatest challenges and triumphs were yet to come. For Naruto and his friends, the adventure was just beginning, and they couldn't wait to see what the next chapter of their lives would bring. Chapter 10, Interdimensional Shenanigans. The room was bathed in an eerie glow as Naruto and his friends stood in the middle of an elaborate ritual circle, a swirling vortex of light and shadow churning above them. They had been investigating a strange portal that had appeared in the middle of their guild hall, and now they found themselves on the brink of an unexpected journey. Alright, everyone, ready for anything? Naruto asked, his usual bravado wavering slightly as he peered into the swirling maelstrom. Sakura adjusted her gear, her face set in determination. As long as we stick together, we should be fine. Sasuke, always the pragmatic one, checked his weapons and then gave Naruto a sideways glance. This better not be another one of your wild adventures. Wendy and Gildarts exchanged a glance. We've faced worse, Gildart said, patting Naruto on the back with a reassuring grin. Before anyone could react, the portal pulsed with a burst of energy, pulling them all into its depths. The world around them shifted and twisted, colors blending and shapes morphing until they were deposited onto a grassy field. They looked around, bewildered. The sky above them was a swirling mix of pink and orange hues, and strange floating islands could be seen in the distance. The air was filled with the sounds of peculiar creatures chirping and buzzing. Where are we? Naruto asked, scratching his head in confusion. I have no idea, Sakura said, scanning their surroundings. But it doesn't look like any place we've been before. As they began to explore, they came across an array of bizarre creatures, some with wings, others with multiple eyes, and even a few that seemed to be made entirely of crystal. Each creature seemed to be as curious about them as they were about it. "Hey, check this out!" Naruto exclaimed, pointing to a creature that resembled a cross between a butterfly and a dragon. It floated around them, occasionally emitting a soft, melodic chime. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. "I don't think that's a good idea." Naruto, however, was already attempting to interact with the creature, which fluttered around him with increasing speed. It finally landed on his shoulder, wrapping around him like a glowing scarf. "Hey, this thing likes me," Naruto said, beaming. Sakura chuckled. "Just be careful, okay?" Suddenly, a towering figure appeared on one of the floating islands. It looked like a giant, armored knight with a helmet that glowed with a soft blue light. The figure descended from the island, landing gracefully in front of them. "Greetings, travelers," the knight said in a deep, resonant voice. "I am Sir Gladius, the guardian of this realm. What brings you to our world?" Naruto stepped forward with a grin. "We're just exploring. We kind of stumbled into this place by accident." Sir Gladius's eyes, which were hidden behind his helmet, seemed to glint with amusement. "Accident, you say? This is the realm of paradox, a place where dimensions converge and strange occurrences are commonplace." Wendy tilted her head in curiosity. "Is there any way for us to get back to our own world?" Sir Gladius nodded. "Indeed. To return, you must find the Core of Passage, an artifact that holds the power to control the portals between worlds. However, it has been hidden away to prevent misuse." Naruto's eyes lit up with determination. "Sounds like a quest. We're in." Sir Gladius extended a hand, and a glowing map appeared in the air. It displayed their current location and marked the path to the Core of Passage. "Follow this map, and you will find the core. Beware, though, the path is fraught with challenges." The map dissipated, leaving the group with a sense of purpose. They set off on their journey, navigating through forests filled with bioluminescent plants and over rolling hills with gravity-defying rocks. Along the way, they encountered more peculiar creatures. One such creature was a small, chubby being covered in fluffy, rainbow-colored fur. It seemed to follow them, occasionally popping up to offer them snacks made of sparkling energy. "This place is so strange," Sakura remarked, accepting a glowing fruit from the creature. "But it's kind of fun." They continued their journey, facing various challenges such as puzzles that required solving to proceed in areas where gravity seemed to shift unpredictably. Naruto's usual antics led to several humorous situations, including getting stuck in a field of floating bubbles that seemed to have a mind of their own. As the sun began to set, they reached the entrance to a massive cave. The entrance was guarded by a series of intricate, glowing runes that seemed to pulse with a rhythmic pattern. "This must be it," Naruto said, examining the runes closely. "The Core of Passage should be inside." With their combined efforts, they solved the runes puzzle and gained entry to the cave. Inside, they found a chamber filled with shimmering crystals that refracted light in mesmerizing patterns. At the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with the Core of Passage resting on it. The core was a crystalline orb, glowing with a soft, pulsing light. As Naruto approached it, the orb emitted a gentle hum, resonating with the system's energy. "This is it," Naruto said, reaching for the core. As soon as he touched it, the chamber's walls began to tremble, and a vortex of energy swirled around them. The team braced themselves as the vortex intensified, and they were enveloped in a blinding light. When the light faded, they found themselves back in their guild hall, surrounded by familiar faces. Sir Gladius and the realm of paradox were gone, leaving behind only the faint echo of their adventure. "Well, that was something," Naruto said, letting out a relieved sigh. Sakura nodded, her expression one of exhaustion and satisfaction. "We made it back." Sasuke looked around, taking in their familiar surroundings. We should rest and regroup. That was quite an experience. Wendy and Gildarts agreed, their faces reflecting a mix of amusement and relief. The core of passage was safely stored, and their adventure in the realm of paradox had come to a close. As they settled back into their routine, the team couldn't help but reflect on their bizarre and humorous journey. The strange creatures, the shifting dimensions, and the quirky challenges had provided a welcome break from their usual adventures, and they were ready for whatever came next. Naruto, with his usual enthusiasm, couldn't wait to see what other surprises the system had in store for them. But for now, they were content to enjoy the comfort of their own world, knowing that their next adventure was just around the corner. Chapter 11, Rivalry and Rivalries. The sun had barely risen over the Hidden Leaf Village when Naruto, brimming with excitement, burst into the guild hall where his friends were gathered. Guess what, guys? I've got some big news. Naruto announced, his voice echoing with enthusiasm. Sasuke, who was busy sharpening his kunai, barely looked up. If it's another one of your schemes, I'm not interested. Sakura, ever the curious one, set down her book. What is it this time, Naruto? Naruto's grin widened. I just got word that a new system user has arrived in town. Apparently, this guy is the real deal, super powerful and all that. Wendy and Gildarts exchanged intrigued glances. Another system user? Wendy asked. That sounds interesting. Yeah, Naruto continued, and he's challenging all the top fighters in the village to a series of one-on-one duels. Sounds like a lot of trouble, Sasuke said dryly. Trouble? More like an opportunity. Naruto replied, his eyes sparkling with mischief. Imagine how amazing it'll be to show off our skills. The group had barely finished their breakfast and they received a formal challenge from the newcomer. His name was Kaito, and his reputation preceded him. His challenge was straightforward, defeat him in a duel or forfeit your right to challenge him again. The day of the duel arrived, and the village square was abuzz with anticipation. The area had been cleared to make way for the contest, and villagers lined the edges to watch the spectacle. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Wendy, and Gildarts stood near the front, their eyes fixed on the stage where Kaito was waiting. Kaito stood tall and imposing, his aura radiating confidence. He wore an elaborate, dark outfit that hinted at his high status, and his eyes gleamed with a mixture of challenge and amusement. He was surrounded by an aura of mystery that only heightened the tension. Naruto stepped up to the stage, his competitive spirit ignited. Alright, Kaito. I'm ready to take you on. Kaito's smile widened as he observed Naruto's eagerness. I'm impressed by your confidence. Let's see if you can back it up. The duel began with a burst of energy. Naruto immediately used his system powers to boost his speed, launching into a series of rapid strikes. Kaito, however, was unfazed. With fluid movements, he countered Naruto's attacks effortlessly, his own powers creating a dazzling display of skill. Naruto's attempts to land a hit only seemed to amuse Kaito more. Is that all you've got? I expected more from a successor of Sung Jin-Woo. Naruto gritted his teeth, determined not to be outdone. He pulled out all the stops. Using a combination of ninja techniques and system abilities to create a dazzling array of attacks. Despite his best efforts, Kaito continued to evade and counter with ease. Sasuke watched from the sidelines, his expression thoughtful. This guy is good. We need to be careful. Sakura nodded in agreement. Naruto's giving it his all, but Kaito's clearly in a different league. The duel continued for what seemed like an eternity, with Naruto's energy beginning to wane. Just as he was about to concede defeat, he remembered a trick he had learned from his previous encounters. He activated a special ability from his system, one that allowed him to create a duplicate of himself. The clones charged at Kaito from all sides, creating a complex and confusing assault. Kaito's eyes widened in surprise as he was momentarily overwhelmed by the sheer number of Naruto's clones. However, Kaito quickly regained his composure and launched a counterattack that dispersed the clones with a wave of his hand. The real Naruto, exhausted but determined, charged forward one last time. Kaito, recognizing Naruto's resolve, decided to end the duel with a flourish. He used a powerful finishing move that sent Naruto sprawling to the ground. The crowd gasped as Kaito stood victorious. Naruto lay on the ground, breathing heavily. "You're really something," he managed to say, admiration in his voice. Kaito extended a hand to help Naruto up. "You've got spirit. I can see why you're so confident. But remember, this is just the beginning." The crowd erupted in applause as Naruto and Kaito shook hands, acknowledging each other's skills. Despite his defeat, Naruto felt a surge of respect for his new rival. Kaito turned to the audience. "I challenge anyone who thinks they can defeat me. I'm here to test my skills against the best." The challenge was accepted by several other fighters, each eager to prove their worth. The duels that followed were a spectacle of skill and power, each battle showcasing the unique abilities of the combatants. As the day came to a close, Naruto and his friends gathered to discuss the events. "That was incredible," Sakura said, her eyes shining with excitement. "Kaito is amazing, but I think we've got a lot to learn from him." "Yeah," Naruto agreed, "and I'm not giving up. I'll be back stronger next time." Sasuke smirked. "Let's hope you're up for it. This rivalry is just beginning." Wendy and Gildarts nodded in agreement. "We'll be ready for whatever comes next," Gildart said. As they walked away from the village square, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. The rivalry with Kaito had ignited a fire within him, and he was determined to rise to the challenge. The sun set over the village, casting a warm glow over the horizon. Naruto looked forward to the future, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with his friends by his side. Chapter 12, The Tournament. The Hidden Leaf Village was abuzz with excitement. An enormous arena had been set up in the village square, and the entire village had gathered to witness a grand spectacle, the first-ever system users tournament. The air was filled with the hum of anticipation and the scent of festival food, as banners and flags fluttered in the gentle breeze. Naruto, clad in his standard ninja attire but with an extra flourish of confidence, stood near the entrance of the arena. He adjusted his headband, eyeing the other competitors with a mix of curiosity and mischief. "This is going to be great," Naruto said, turning to his friends who had accompanied him. "Just think of all the cool techniques and powers we'll see." Sasuke, who had come along out of curiosity, merely raised an eyebrow. "You say that now, but remember, this is a competition. Don't get too carried away." Sakura and the others nodded in agreement. "We should stay focused," Sakura said. "Let's see what kind of skills these system users have." As the competitors began to assemble in the arena, Naruto's attention was drawn to a tall figure standing among them. The figure wore a sleek, black outfit and exuded an air of effortless confidence. It was none other than Kaito, the system user who had previously defeated him in a duel. Naruto grinned and waved. "Hey, Kaito. Ready for some competition?" Kaito turned, his expression a mix of amusement and challenge. "Naruto. I see you're still full of energy. Let's see if you've improved." The arena's announcer, a lively and flamboyant character named Hiroshi, took to the center of the stage. His booming voice reverberated through the crowd as he introduced the tournament's format. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the System Users Tournament. Today, we'll witness some of the most extraordinary battles between skilled individuals from different worlds. Each match will be a test of strategy, power, and creativity. Let the games begin." The crowd erupted into cheers, and the first matches were soon underway. Naruto watched with keen interest as various competitors demonstrated their abilities. Some used magic, others wielded incredible physical strength, and a few showcased bizarre and unique powers that defied explanation. As Naruto waited for his turn, he couldn't help but get caught up in the excitement. His friends cheered him on, each showing their support in their own way. "Go get Naruto!" Sakura shouted from the sidelines. "Show them what you're made of." Sasuke nodded in approval. "Just remember to stay focused." Gildarts, always the easygoing one, offered a thumbs up. "You've got this, Naruto. Just don't let them get the best of you." Naruto's match was soon called. His opponent was a burly man with a grizzled appearance and an impressive array of weapons strapped to his back. The crowd was buzzing with anticipation as the two competitors faced off in the center of the arena. The referee, a no-nonsense woman named Kira, signaled the start of the match. "Competitors ready? Begin." Naruto wasted no time. He activated his system powers and charged forward, his movements a blur of speed and agility. The burly man attempted to counter with his weapons, but Naruto's enhanced reflexes allowed him to dodge and weave effortlessly. With a swift combination of ninja techniques and system-enhanced attacks, Naruto quickly overwhelmed his opponent. The crowd roared in approval as the burly man was forced to concede defeat. Hiroshi, ever the showman, took to the center of the arena once more. "And the winner of this match is Naruto Uzumaki. What an incredible display of skill and power." Naruto basked in the adulation, giving a triumphant wave to the cheering crowd. As he exited the arena, he was met by his friends, who congratulated him on his victory. "Nice work, Naruto," Sakura said, beaming with pride. "You really showed them what you can do." "That was impressive," Sasuke admitted, his tone grudgingly admiring. "You've really improved." Gildarts clapped Naruto on the back. "Way to go. Keep it up and you'll be unbeatable." Naruto grinned, his confidence soaring. "Thanks, everyone. I'm just getting started." As the tournament continued, Naruto faced several more opponents, each presenting their own unique challenges. He used his system powers in creative and humorous ways, often turning the tide of battle with unexpected and comical strategies. One particularly memorable match involved a competitor who specialized in illusions. The opponent created a series of deceptive images, making it difficult to determine which was real. Naruto, however, used his system's ability to sense the real target, allowing him to outwit the illusionist and secure another victory. In another match, Naruto faced a competitor who wielded powerful elemental magic. The battle was a spectacular display of fire, water, earth, and wind, with Naruto using his ninja skills and system-enhanced abilities to counter each attack with a mix of agility and strategy. As the tournament progressed, Naruto's unconventional and humorous combat style began to stand out. His unpredictable moves and over-the-top antics left both the audience and his opponents in stitches, earning him a reputation as the crowd favorite. When it came time for the final match, Naruto was up against Kaito once more. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation as the two rivals took their positions in the arena. Kaito gave Naruto a nod of respect. "You've made it this far. Let's see how you fare in the final match." Naruto's grin widened. "You bet. I'm ready to give it everything I've got." The referee signaled the start of the final match, and the two competitors charged at each other with a burst of speed. The battle was a high-energy exchange of blows, with Naruto's system-enhanced attacks meeting Kaito's formidable abilities head-on. The crowd was on the edge of their seats as the two rivals pushed each other to their limits. Naruto's humorous tactics and Kaito's serious approach created a dynamic and entertaining clash, with both competitors showcasing their impressive skills. In the end, it was a close and hard-fought battle, but Naruto emerged victorious. The crowd erupted into cheers as Naruto was declared the winner of the tournament. Hiroshi took to the center of the arena once more, his voice booming with excitement. And the champion of the system users tournament is Naruto Uzumaki. What a fantastic display of skill and determination. Naruto, panting and exhausted but exhilarated, raised his arms in triumph. He was met by his friends, who surrounded him with cheers and congratulations. "You did it, Naruto!" Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. "That was amazing," Sasuke said, nodding in approval. "You really showed everyone what you're capable of." Gildarts clapped Naruto on the back. "Great job, Naruto. You earned this victory." Naruto's grin was ear to ear as he looked out at the cheering crowd. "Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have done it without your support." As the festivities continued and the crowd celebrated, Naruto reflected on his journey. The tournament had been a thrilling and humorous adventure, filled with unexpected challenges and memorable moments. With his victory secured and his confidence at an all-time high, Naruto looked forward to the next chapter in his journey. The world of system users was vast and full of possibilities, and he was eager to explore it further. As the sun set over the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto and his friends celebrated their success, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead with laughter and determination. Chapter 13, A Hero's Day Off. The Hidden Leaf Village was in the midst of an unusually quiet day. The frenetic energy of the recent tournaments and interdimensional escapades had given way to a rare period of tranquility. Naruto, ever eager for a break from his heroic duties and system-enhanced adventures, had decided to take a much-needed day off. It was time to experience some of the simpler joys of life. He awoke in his modest apartment, stretched with a contented yawn, and ambled to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. As he fumbled with a pan, he found himself contemplating the pleasures of a normal life, away from the chaos of battling powerful foes and navigating through bizarre dimensions. The aroma of sizzling bacon filled the kitchen, and Naruto, ever the enthusiastic chef, couldn't help but overdo it. Eggs, bacon, and a stack of pancakes later, his breakfast was more fit for a feast than a simple morning meal. He smiled proudly at his culinary creation and dug in with gusto. "That hit the spot," Naruto said, leaning back and patting his belly. He glanced at the calendar hanging on the wall, which had a bold red circle around today's date. Today's a day for relaxation and fun. Time to make the most of it. After breakfast, Naruto decided to take a leisurely stroll around the village. The sun was shining brightly, casting a warm glow over the streets. Villagers went about their daily routines, and children played with carefree abandon. Naruto greeted everyone with his trademark enthusiasm, his cheerful demeanor spreading positivity wherever he went. He stopped by Ichiraku Ramen, his favorite spot for a quick bite. Ayam, the kind-hearted owner, greeted him with a friendly smile. "Good morning, Naruto." "The usual?" "Absolutely." Naruto replied, his eyes lighting up. "I've got a craving for ramen that just won't quit." As he slurped down his bowl of steaming ramen, Naruto chatted with Ayam and Tuchi. They filled him in on the latest village gossip and shared some laughs over old memories. It was a nice break from his usual routine of heroic exploits and system-related dramas. With his stomach satisfied, Naruto decided it was time for some shopping. He strolled through the market district, taking in the sights and sounds. He browsed through various stalls, examining everything from fresh produce to quirky trinkets. He even indulged in some impulse purchases, like a particularly vibrant scarf that he thought would look good on him. Naruto's next stop was the hot springs. He had always enjoyed the relaxing soak in the warm waters, and today was no exception. As he walked into the hot springs facility, he was greeted by a serene atmosphere. The bubbling sounds of the hot springs and the gentle steam rising from the pools created a tranquil environment. He changed into his swimsuit and eased himself into one of the hot springs. The warmth of the water was soothing, and he sighed contentedly as he leaned back, letting the stress of recent adventures melt away. "I could get used to this," Naruto mused, closing his eyes and enjoying the peaceful surroundings. As he relaxed, Naruto couldn't help but overhear snippets of conversation from the other patrons. Some were talking about the recent tournament, while others were discussing their own personal dramas. The casual chatter was a welcome contrast to the high-stakes battles he was used to. His relaxation was interrupted when he noticed a familiar face entering the hot springs. It was Sakura, who had apparently decided to take some time off as well. She spotted Naruto and made her way over, her expression a mix of surprise and amusement. "Well, if it isn't Naruto," Sakura said, raising an eyebrow. "I didn't expect to see you here." "Hey, Sakura." Naruto greeted, waving with a splash. "Just taking a break. Figured I'd treat myself to some relaxation." Sakura chuckled and settled into the hot springs beside him. "Sounds nice. I could use a break too." The two friends enjoyed a leisurely conversation, catching up on each other's lives and discussing their recent experiences. The conversation flowed easily, and they both felt the benefits of a day spent away from their usual responsibilities. After their hot springs session, Naruto and Sakura decided to head to a local park. They found a cozy spot under a large tree and settled down for a picnic. Naruto had packed an assortment of snacks and treats, which he eagerly shared with Sakura. They talked and laughed as they enjoyed the simple pleasures of their meal. Sakura told stories about her recent training sessions, while Naruto recounted some of his more humorous adventures with the system. The afternoon passed in a pleasant haze of relaxation and camaraderie. As the sun began to set, Naruto and Sakura made their way back to the village. Naruto couldn't help but reflect on how refreshing the day had been. He had enjoyed the company of his friends, experienced the joys of normal life, and recharged his spirits. "I needed this," Naruto said, stretching as they approached the village gates. "It's been a while since I just had a day to myself." Sakura nodded in agreement. Sometimes it's nice to step away from the chaos and just enjoy the little things. Naruto's day off had been a success, and he felt rejuvenated and ready to tackle whatever challenges awaited him next. As he looked up at the star-filled sky, he smiled, knowing that even heroes needed a break now and then. The next day, Naruto would return to his adventures with renewed energy and a sense of balance. But for now, he was content to savor the memories of a perfect day off, surrounded by friends and the simple joys of life. Chapter 14, The Ultimate Showdown. The peace and quiet of the Hidden Leaf Village were shattered and a new threat emerged, one that not even Naruto's newly acquired system powers could ignore. Rumors of an impending catastrophe spread like wildfire, causing anxiety and fear among the villagers. An ominous figure, cloaked in dark energy, had appeared on the horizon, threatening to bring about untold destruction. Naruto, ever the proactive hero, felt a familiar surge of adrenaline at the prospect of a new challenge. His system had been quiet lately. But the danger posed by this new antagonist was too great to ignore. He gathered his friends and allies for a meeting at the Hokage's office, where the gravity of the situation was laid out. "This is not just any enemy," Tsunade said, her face etched with concern. "The reports suggest that this antagonist, known as Kael the Destroyer, possesses powers that could level entire villages. We need to act fast." Naruto's eyes gleamed with determination. "We've faced tough opponents before, but this one sounds like a real challenge. I'm ready for it." Sakura, Sasuke, and their friends nodded in agreement. The team had grown stronger and more cohesive with each battle, and they were prepared to face whatever Kael had in store. "Let's get moving," Sasuke said, his expression serious. "We need to assess the situation and come up with a strategy." The group set out towards the location where Kael had last been spotted, a desolate area just outside the village. As they approached, the air grew thick with a dark, oppressive energy. Naruto could feel his system reacting, its interface flickering with warnings and alerts. "Prepare yourselves," Naruto said, his voice steady. "We don't know what we're dealing with yet, but we'll face it together. The team made their way cautiously through the barren landscape, their senses on high alert. The ground beneath their feet was cracked and scorched, evidence of Kael's destructive power. As they neared the epicenter of the disturbance, a chilling laugh echoed through the air. "So, you've come to challenge me," Kael said, emerging from the shadows. His appearance was as imposing as his reputation, tall, cloaked in dark robes, with eyes that glowed an eerie red. "I've been expecting you." Naruto stepped forward, his confidence unwavering. "You're not going to get away with whatever you're planning. We're here to stop you." Kael's laughter grew louder, more menacing. "Stop me? You think you can? I've destroyed entire realms. You're nothing but insects to me." With a wave of his hand, Kael summoned a horde of dark minions, their forms shifting and writhing like shadows. The ground trembled as they surged towards Naruto and his team. "Let's show them what we're made of," Naruto said, activating his system powers. The interface blinked with new abilities and upgrades he had recently acquired. Time to make this battle interesting. The fight began with intense ferocity. Naruto and his friends engaged the minions, their combined powers creating a dazzling display of combat. Sasuke's Sharingan flared as he used his advanced techniques to slice through the dark creatures, while Sakura's strength and healing abilities kept the team in fighting shape. Naruto, in particular, was a whirlwind of action. His system-enhanced skills made him faster and stronger than ever before. He launched powerful attacks with precision, each strike accompanied by a burst of system-generated energy. His creativity in combat was evident as he combined traditional ninja techniques with his new powers in unexpected ways. Despite their best efforts, Kael remained unfazed. He watched the battle with a detached amusement, occasionally intervening with waves of dark energy that sent shockwaves through the battlefield. His power seemed almost limitless, and the team struggled to make a dent in his defenses. "This isn't working," Naruto said, panting as he dodged another blast of dark energy. "We need a new strategy." Sakura, noticing Naruto's frustration, called out, "We need to find a way to weaken him. There must be a way to disrupt his power." Naruto's eyes narrowed as he considered their options. He remembered the unusual items he had received from previous boss battles and the peculiar abilities they granted. "What if we use one of those items? There's one that might work against him." He reached into his inventory and pulled out a strange, glowing orb. It was one of the rewards from a previous dungeon, a rare item with the ability to disrupt magical energy. He activated it, and a pulse of energy radiated from the orb, creating a shimmering barrier around the battlefield. Kael's expression shifted from amused to confused as his dark energy wavered. "What is this? How dare you interfere with my power?" Naruto seized the opportunity. "This is our chance. Let's hit him with everything we've got." With renewed determination, the team launched a coordinated assault. Sasuke used his strongest techniques, Sakura unleashed her most powerful jutsu, and Naruto combined his system-enhanced skills with his ninja abilities for a devastating attack. The orb's energy disruption weakened Kael's defenses, allowing their attacks to land with greater impact. Kael roared in frustration, his power fluctuating wildly as he struggled to maintain control. The battle reached a fever pitch as the team poured every ounce of their strength into their final assault. With a climactic explosion of energy, Naruto's ultimate technique broke through Kael's defenses, and the antagonist was sent crashing to the ground, defeated. The dark energy dissipated, and the horde of minions vanished with their master's fall. The battlefield fell silent, the oppressive atmosphere lifting as the team caught their breath. Naruto stood over the fallen Kael, his chest heaving as he looked around at his friends. "We did it," Naruto said, a weary but triumphant smile on his face. "We really did it." Sasuke and Sakura, along with the rest of the team, gathered around Naruto. They were exhausted but elated, knowing they had faced one of their greatest challenges and emerged victorious. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the battlefield, Naruto felt a profound sense of accomplishment. The village would be safe once again, thanks to the combined efforts of his team and the power of the system. The victory was bittersweet, marked by the realization of the ongoing responsibilities and challenges that lay ahead. But for now, Naruto allowed himself to bask in the glory of the moment, knowing that, no matter what came next, he and his friends would face it together. Chapter 15, New Beginnings. The sun was setting over the Hidden Leaf Village, casting a golden glow over the bustling streets. The sounds of laughter and conversation filled the air, a stark contrast to the chaos that had recently engulfed the village. Naruto stood atop the Hokage's office, gazing out at the peaceful scene below. The grand battle against Kael the Destroyer was over, and the world was slowly returning to normal. He couldn't help but smile as he thought back on the epic confrontation. The fight had been intense and filled with moments of absurdity that only someone with his unique powers could handle. From his dramatic showdown with Kael to the unexpected interference of his comical reward items, the battle had been a roller coaster of humor and heroics. With the immediate threat vanquished, Naruto had taken some much-needed time to reflect on everything that had happened. He realized that his journey was not just about fighting enemies and gaining new powers, but also about the friendships he had forged and the growth he had experienced. The village had come together in the face of danger, and the bonds between its people had been strengthened. As he stood on the rooftop, he could see his friends below, gathered in the village square. Sakura and Sasuke were engaged in a friendly sparring match, their laughter carrying up to him. The rest of the gang was there too, enjoying a festive celebration in honor of their victory. Naruto felt a surge of pride and contentment. He had come a long way since stumbling into that mysterious dungeon. His powers had grown, and so had he. He was no longer just a ninja with a dream but a hero with a purpose. Descending from the rooftop, Naruto made his way to the square. As he approached, he was greeted by a chorus of cheers and congratulations from his friends and fellow villagers. It was clear that they were all grateful for his bravery and the role he had played in saving the village. "Hey, Naruto!" Sakura called out, her face lit up with a bright smile. "You made it. We were just about to start the celebration." "Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world," Naruto replied, grinning. "Besides, I have a feeling there are going to be some amazing stories to share." As the celebration began, Naruto joined his friends at a large table laden with food. The atmosphere was filled with joy and camaraderie. He couldn't help but chuckle as he listened to the tales of their recent adventures, each one more exaggerated and humorous than the last. "So, Naruto," Sasuke said, leaning back in his chair, "what's next for you? Any new quests or challenges on the horizon?" Naruto shrugged, a playful glint in his eye. "I'm not sure. I guess I'll take it one day at a time. There's always something new to explore, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes next." His response was met with cheers and applause from the table. It was clear that his friends were eager to continue their adventures together. But for now, they were content to enjoy the moment and revel in their victory. The festivities continued into the night, with laughter and music filling the air. Naruto felt a deep sense of satisfaction as he watched his friends and fellow villagers enjoying themselves. It was a welcome reminder of why he fought so hard, to protect and cherish the people he cared about. As the celebration wound down, Naruto found himself standing alone on a quiet hill overlooking the village. The night sky was clear and filled with stars, and the cool breeze was a refreshing change from the heat of the day. He took a deep breath, savoring the peacefulness of the moment. He thought about the future and the possibilities it held. With his system powers and the support of his friends, there was no limit to what he could achieve. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The journey had been challenging, but it had also been incredibly rewarding. Naruto glanced back at the village, his heart swelling with pride. He had come a long way, and while there would undoubtedly be more challenges ahead, he knew that he was ready to face them. The bonds he had forged with his friends and the lessons he had learned were more valuable than any power or ability. As he turned to head back to the village, he felt a familiar surge of energy. His system had been quiet for a while, but it seemed to be reacting to something. He pulled up the interface and saw that it was showing a new notification. System update, new challenges and quests available. Explore the world and uncover hidden secrets. Stay vigilant, hero. Naruto's eyes widened with excitement. It looked like his adventures were far from over. With a determined smile, he set off towards the village, ready to embrace whatever came next. The celebration might have ended, but the story of Naruto, the successor to Sung Jin-Woo, was just beginning. The world was vast, and there were still many mysteries to uncover and adventures to embark upon. As he joined his friends once more, he felt a renewed sense of anticipation and enthusiasm. He was ready for whatever the future had in store. The ultimate showdown had been a defining moment in his journey, but it was only one chapter in the grand adventure that awaited him. With his friends by his side and his powers at his disposal, Naruto was ready to face whatever challenges came next. The sun rose over the Hidden Leaf Village, heralding a new day and a new beginning. Naruto was ready to embrace it with all his heart, knowing that his journey was far from over.